studio where I am coming to you guys live with another Women in the Metaverse episode, and I'm super excited because this season has been so much fun exploring so many different spaces by so many amazing women and having so many interesting conversations in between. And so next Monday we have the treat of going and exploring Press B's backyard theater, and we're going to hear just a little bit about her, what she's done, and she's actually been on our Women in the Metaverse panel before. So if you've seen that, you probably know her already, and if you haven't, go watch that to learn more about it, because you guys know these podcasts are very quick. We get right to the nitty gritty and on to the next. And next Monday we're actually going to also have a girls movie night in her theater after the podcast, so definitely make sure you come through so that you can come and join the fun. On that note, it made me think about what I even wanted to talk about today, which was, I know for my podcast listeners, I'm always on you guys about how you can come into this space and use these tools as the builder, right? Bring your business, bring your creativity, bring your ideas, bring your hobbies, bring whatever you see is needed and whatever you have, and come here and add to it because the space needs it. But I was also thinking, there are also a lot of other things that are already here in the metaverse that I even just wanted to highlight, like Press B's backyard theater, right? Because one of those conversations when people talk about the metaverse, people always mention is like, what are people going to do in the metaverse, right? What drives people into the metaverse, gets people there, and gets people in there for a long time, gets them in there spending money and making them feel like this digital asset and this digital identity is so valuable. And it is the things inside of it. It is these things on these platforms that make it valuable. It's the digital assets themselves, right? And that's what even makes your mind start to expand when you think about the idea of currency, right? And how it's really supported by energy, right? That's why we even use these different terminologies when we're talking about that, because that's what it is, right? The flow of energy. And when you think about, my husband always has this great analogy when he says, if you think about like $1 million, right? It's not just $1 million, it's all the energy it took to get $1 million, and all the energy that is then going to transfer and be able to be done with once you have those funds then. And so the metaverse is just kind of like the same, right? It takes a lot of energy in order to create these platforms, and once you've put it all in one place, that's where you really start to see what these platforms are able to do, right? When they're bustling and thriving, and you actually see people in them and using. Roblox is a great example. My 5-year-old now has veered into the land of Roblox, and it's very interesting to see how it's just set up just like all of these metaverse platforms are, where you get your avatar, your name tag, your wallet, and then you get to go and explore these different spaces or worlds within the platform, and each world is created by a different creator, and each world within this platform is completely different than the next, right? Well, I don't want to say completely, because some people are inspired by others, but you have the freedom to create the world to do whatever you like. So you see some people that create race car games, some people that create stores, some people that create all different kind of experiences to try to get people in them, so much so that Roblox has even got it where, again, my kid can sit there for however long I would even allow him to, going through all of the different worlds and playing all of the different games. And each game even supports a creator, because you can go in and buy something in that world to then play the game. And it's really its own economy in itself. And so not only are the creators needed, but those going and playing those games and supported are even more needed. And so I wanted to just kind of take a moment and talk about the different things that there were to be done in it. Especially, I know Spatial has been one of the metaverses that has really taken on the gaming approach. Well, as of right now, they are a platform that pivots heavily. So when they first got in, it was really more so like Zoom, just video conferencing for businesses, which then evolved into like galleries, especially for NFT artists who had these excessive digital portraits and digital galleries and digital collections of art, and they wanted to display them in even cooler ways that Spatial had then allowed. And they can even do token gating with the NFTs and so many really cool things, to now even being connected with I cannot think of the word, Unity. They're just partnered with Unity, and so now they're considered like to be focused on gaming. And why? Because again, when you think about what drives people into these platforms to actually be hanging out. Oh wait, I didn't even realize I had people in here. Hang on one second. Oh, sorry guys, I'm over in the podcast studio filming. I didn't even realize you guys were in here until I popped over. Let me see if I can share the screen. Oh, I might, here's what I'm gonna do. Studio, share with audio. Okay, bet. I didn't even realize you guys was in here. My bad.
I was wondering if you were talking. I was like, what? I wonder if she's here.
I'm over here in the WIM studio. But I was just talking about basically how not only are the creators important in this metaverse economy, but so are the supporters, the ones that are going to be in here playing the games and actually using these platforms. And then just talking about all the different ways that you can actually use these platforms to do different things, right? Like I was just kind of going over gaming, and we've gone over shopping. A lot of people don't even realize your favorite website, right? A lot of people do online shopping. Imagine when Amazon has an Amazon Metaverse, and you can go and they already have integrated the AR filters, which is a level of virtual reality where you get to take the furniture and look what it looks like in your house, and it will literally look like, you know, the size and everything with your phone. And it's like I think most things that I order now on Amazon give that option for me to see what it would look like here in my house, and that really gives you an idea on how big that item is and all these different things. And when you think about how you can even enhance that experience by using like a game, right? Like we were just talking about games, to say, hey, well, if you go and play this game first, then you'll get some points and some discounts. And that's how now you start to get your buyer in your space for longer, right? Because that's also what we were talking about, not only getting people here into the metaverse, but keeping them here and keeping them coming back. And so some people, you know, like I said, have seen gaming as a big niche, and that's especially why I was just telling you guys, Spatial has really hunkered in with Unity in order to bring gamers and game developers, especially here onto the platform, so that they can continue to bring these people with these ideas, and not only ideas but abilities to create what they're imagining, because that's also a magical tool in itself, is being able to bring that into fruition and having powerful developers like that. And game developers are some of those top-notch developers that have been doing these kind of things for years, right, that you don't realize, and coding and all these things that are adding, that you're now able to do little things that make all the difference right now. And the cool thing is all this stuff is learnable also. So without kind of getting into the building side of it, because you guys know I love to jump down that rabbit hole, again, we're focused on the consumer side. What can you do in the metaverse? So next Monday, at 4 p.m. Pacific time. We will be meeting here in the treehouse just for our normal meetup, and then we'll be jumping over to the Press B Backyard Theater. We'll chat for her for a little bit and talk about what inspired her to create her theater, because not only is it in spatial.io, but it is also in VR chat. Because again, guys, different platforms are for different things. All of these metaverse platforms are just a page out of the metaverse book, but any digital platform is really some type of the metaverse. If people are meeting there and socializing or doing anything, that's what that would be considered. And so it's very interesting that she has her world in 2 different metaverses. So again, understands also how to create a community space that's just running autonomously. You guys know last week our word was autonomous and things being autonomous, like the WIM Treehouse. When I leave here, if you guys seen back here, this is actually last week's video. So up on the screen, whenever I leave here, last week's video is just playing in here 24/7. So whenever I'm not in here, people can come to the treehouse and watch the episode there anytime, and then click on the link to access that. And that's similar to the Backyard Theater. Whether Press B is in there or not, her theater is running, and she has movies playing all day long, or different things playing all day long. And again, these are these different ways I'm telling you guys you can use these digital tools to not only go and launch your own business that can run 24/7, but partake in different things that run 24/7, right? Like I said, her theater is 24/7. So a lot of times when I'm just on my computer randomly, I go to YouTube to find something random to watch, or find some random TV show or movie and just binge watch it. But that Backyard Theater has even helped me to eliminate maybe an hour or 2 that you spend kind of getting lost and trying to get prepared. I gotta find something to watch, and then kind of get distracted or into it too much, where it's no, I just jump in the theater, put that in my background, and then I'm on there. Or I know Tiny and myself have hooked up there a few times, and just it's been a really cool thing to be able to go and experience, whether she's there or not, whether it's a big event or not. And it's open to anybody. So anybody even listening to this podcast can literally download spatial.io on your phone or on your computer, or even on your VR set if you've got a headset and been looking for something to do, and you can go watch a really cool movie in the Backyard Theater, or explore the homepage and play a racing game, or a different kind of game, because again, there's so many different games even just on the Explore page. I know I had taken you guys through the spatial homepage a few podcast episodes back, so definitely check that out if you've missed it. But again, the biggest thing is getting into the space, starting to learn it. Even when you get into the metaverse, learning how to walk around is a little learning curve, learning how to sit down, but getting into the space now, this is the time to be doing that. You don't want to wait another year and then just be getting in, and then because again, the businesses are in here building, and once they have the doors open, it's open, and we already know that the floodgates are going to be running over, because again, this is how businesses are going to be operating. We are all following this business model because this is the new blueprint as we're going into this new era of the digital revolution. And so on that note, we're going to be focusing on not only the ways that we can build in it, because I know I've again emphasized that till I'm blue in the face, but most importantly, how everybody can support and enjoy it. There's a lot of fun to be had, so we're going to continue to explore some of these really fun spaces by different women in the metaverse throughout the course of the space. And not only women, but we got a few of our men allies that I have to shout out that are here that have some really dope spaces as well, like Kush Nubia, who plays dope documentaries every single Thursday, which again is so amazing. How many people love documentaries, and not only regular documentaries, but those that are really good and man, I never knew that, and interesting to watch, and again, that's going to be there every Thursday. And this was actually a conversation that we were just having with Science when we were talking about how to get people into the space. And I'm like, you got to start low stress. Just get people chill events to come through, because in my opinion, those are one of those things to do in the metaverse, is just get together and hang out. So like these podcasts, and that these get-togethers that we so happen to live stream as podcasts. But for us in the metaverse, it just kind of seems like a get-together where we get, watch YouTube or videos or whatever we're watching and talking. And shout out to Science, who also is on cyber.io for that same kind of feel, but with an even more focused agenda, right, where you can actually go and do a live demonstration and talk about art and experience art in another way that you wouldn't be able to in the normal sense, or just Instagram, where you see somebody post their video of what they've done or posted a reel of them talking about it. And so again, we think about the metaverse and how it just opens up another door for the different things that you can do. These are those little things that we're already doing that we're about to just be able to do better because of platforms like the metaverse. And we're about to get into all of that. So make sure you guys have liked, commented, and subscribed. Drop in the chat what you guys want to see in the metaverse, or something that you would like to do in the metaverse. And that way I'll see if I can find a spot, highlight it, and we're going to get into it. But before we wrap it up, I would love to open the floor up to everybody here in the clubhouse and see if there was anything in specific that you guys like to do in the metaverse aside from building your own endeavors for fun. Okay, I see Kush said gaming. Yes, that is a big one. Kush, do you like playing the spatial games? Like, do you ever go hopping through all the games in spatial? You said yes, perfect. Science says, I really want to see some kind of improv class or show. Ooh, yes, that would be really nice. I definitely agree. That would be really cool. Tiny, what was the question? What do you like doing for fun in the metaverse? Like when you're not building, what's just something you like doing for fun? Kush says gaming. Science wants to see like an improv class or show, which is super dope. I myself, I like to world travel. I like to say I just like hopping in different world rooms and like running through them all and sitting in all the seats and like walking in all the hallways. You know when you like go to somebody's big house and you just like want to walk in all the rooms? The metaverse kind of gives me that kind of vibe where it's like maybe it was just one of the first experiences that I had when I came into space. It was so mind-blowing that I like went to so many different countries, it felt like, because they were all like based and created by so many people from all over the world. And it was just like so cool. Like they had a lot of places based in Tokyo that we were really cool with when we first got in. So it was like we were really big in Japan and like really traveling the continents and the moon. Tiny also said, theater for sure, games, meetups, music, and comedy. Yes, music is definitely one of those things I will also say. I love getting together, listening to music. For that, it also looks so simple. I think people don't realize how simple it can be. I'm not on VR, so maybe with VR it's a little bit more even immersive. But for me personally, I most of the time use my laptop. So when we're sitting in spaces and it's just like music, I just have my laptop up with my music going just like I usually would. And I love being able to be in my physical environment and kind of having the digital going in the background and doing both of them, right? So anything that allows me to kind of be in like both worlds is super dope. So I will say music is a good one too. Tiny there. Comedy, yes, definitely a good comedy show. Ooh, Science says VR has a lot of escape rooms. That sounds really dope. Tiny says, I just like to go places and bust a move, right? Yes, the music with the dancing is definitely a lot of fun. We got a lot of moves too. And Tiny agrees that VR escape rooms sound amazing. That's going to be something we got to try. Definitely one of these game nights we're going to have to go try some type of escape room. Or we don't have VR sets, but we're going to try something. Haikun kind of had something like that when they were the mazes, but those were like, there was no escaping. I'm pretty sure. That last means. But this has really been a dope conversation. I appreciate the crew for coming through. That was really dope. I didn't even realize I didn't go live in the treehouse. I was just in the studio going at it, but this was still a great conversation. And like I said, it's about to be running autonomously here in the clubhouse. So if you missed it and you want to bring your girls or even your homeboys, whomever, slide through to the Women in the Metaverse Treehouse anytime and you can watch this episode. Again, you guys know this treehouse is for you all. You're more than welcome anytime. And if you fill out the Google form here, you will also get this special Women in the Metaverse NFT called Lean On Me, which will unlock our Women in the Metaverse studio, what you guys seen on the screen, which will allow you to create your own content here in the studio anytime. So get into it, because you guys know we definitely are. I'll see you next week. Peace.